What's up,
hmm
everybody? It's your boy JC. I am joined by my partner in crime this evening, AB Absolutely, and we are broadcasting to you live on the Patrick Pucci Fantasy Show channel. What's up, my guy? How are you?
I am feeling great. Had a pretty good week. I'm pumped. I've been waiting all week for the show because we had some progress in the last one. So this week we're gonna try and go bigger this time.
Dude, I thought last week, week 3 was one of those weeks where it's like, okay, I don't know. Tell me if you feel this way. It's kind of like a anxious slash nervous slash like it's like I don't know, like we're waiting for something to happen, and then
hmm
it happens, and then like, oh no, this didn't happen. I don't know. It was just like it's like one of these bizarre type of deals, man.
hmm
And it's getting a little bit more trickier and weirder too. I mean, like just with the injuries that are piling up. And look, I know that it seems like it's a big amount, or there's just an insane amount of injuries that are happening right now. But I'm not sure if it's any more or any less than any other season. I really don't. It's just like I think maybe myself included, like we just lose sight or we don't look back because you really shouldn't look back, but sometimes you have to reflect and to
hmm
check records. I'm not sure if there's really an influx of injuries. It just seems like there's a lot at the very same time, or it seems like there's a lot to high profile players, so on and so forth. I don't know. I mean, I could be completely wrong, AB, but I'm not sure that there's just so many more
hmm
injuries this time of year.
Well, honestly, I think the injury numbers are around the same. Like I think
Oh,
it's easier now for people to get injured in the beginning of the season because a lot of teams don't play their stars in the preseason, so they don't really get a lot of that. Like they don't get calloused like they used to. They don't really get a lot of the same like muscle memory. They're not taking hits as much as they used to. They're not having two a days anymore in the off season. So it's like you come into the first couple of weeks, it's easier for people to get for people to get cramped up on the field during games. It's easier for people to take bad hits and then get injured. I don't think there's been more injuries, but I do think that like the injuries they're happening so close to each other. It seems like it's a ton of them, but I think this is pretty normal.
yeah, absolutely. And I love the point and that take really in regards to the dudes that are not practicing,
hmm
holding out, holding in.
Holding in. Oh yeah.
I mean, yes, absolutely great point. The lack of reps, and maybe just more scrutiny regarding the concussions because there are
hmm
several of those in one shot.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, like, look, it's a lot. Again, without actually looking at data, okay,
hmm
which I probably should, but again, this is just my take, and I'm going to give the disclaimer that I could be very, very wrong. All right, going to be fully transparent here on the Patrick Pucci Fantasy Show channel and the DFS Friday Night Show. That I don't necessarily believe that the injuries are that much greater than they were last year or the year before. It just seems very concentrated with a lot of concentrated high profile players that we
hmm
drafted high. That's all. That's all. Let's continue to knock on wood that it doesn't get any worse. But folks, what we're gonna do for you this evening, besides bring you a little bit of entertainment for the Friday night show. By the way, thank you very much for joining us on Friday night. By the way, anybody, if you're in the great state of Texas or Oklahoma or Alabama, and it's Friday night lights, and you are tuning in to the Patrick Pucci Fantasy Show DFS Friday Night Show, God bless you as well. God bless you. Or you were going to check the recording out. In any event, why don't we go through the games for the week 4 slate? We had one last night, obviously. Oh my God, dude. So, like, what was the score like in the fourth quarter? What was it, like 20-15? Cowboys were up by
I think it was 17-15 at one point, coming into the third, like after the third quarter.
17. All right, I think that's exactly what the score was. I got a phone call from my old man, and just of course we speak when the games are on, and now especially the Giants. He's like, the Giants stink, and I'm like,
the Giants fans keep saying
the Giants stink. And I'm like, well, what does it say about the Cowboys?
Right.
The Cowboys. What did they? They had 17 points into the fourth quarter. I think the Cowboys stink. How about that?
I mean, I think both teams stink this year. I think this year the NFC East is just a crap.
Both of them stink. But it was funny, and I wish that you had been with us, and I'm so glad that you are a part of what we're doing now. But back in March, it had to have been March, just around the free agency, and we were talking on one of our spaces, and it was like, okay, the Cowboys. We got to the Cowboys. I'm like, the Cowboys are at their ceiling. They hit their ceiling. Like, there's nowhere for them to go, but in the opposite direction. Just like players can hit their ceiling. Like CD Lamb is a perfect example, tied to the same team. CD Lamb with 1,700 receiving yards, well over 100 balls caught, 12 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns.
13, I think he had. Yeah,
doesn't matter. Ceiling. The Cowboys are at their ceiling.
I mean, you go 13-3 for 3 consecutive seasons, and then you get smashed in the playoffs for 3 years in a row. That's absolutely your ceiling, because there's no way this Cowboys team was ever going to be 15-1 or be undefeated. So 13-3 was absolutely their ceiling, and they did it 3 times.
Look, we all know the story here with Jerry and the running game.
Oh man,
and Dak, who now Dak is tied to them for at least another 4 years. Look, they're gonna have to figure it out. They're lucky that they're in a division with the Commanders, who are on the ascension, by the way. Ascension. Absolutely. Will they make the playoffs this year? Most likely not. But they are on the rise with a budding star at quarterback.
Oh yeah, they absolutely have a star. Yeah.
The Giants are not in that category as far as I'm concerned. They're not. Brian Dable is a good offensive coordinator. He's got what we think is a superstar wide receiver. There's a serious problem at quarterback.
I disagree.
Do you?
I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. I don't think the problem is the quarterback. I do think that Daniel Jones is clearly limited. He's not a superstar by any stretch of the imagination whatsoever. But then again, he's not really being paid like a superstar. That's why I loved, the contract that they gave him, because that makes him, middle of the pack, which Daniel Jones is. He's just middle of the pack. But it's like he's one of those guys where his teammates have to help him out. They have to. And if you don't get him some playmakers, then, of course, he's going to look average, because he is average. Like Wan'Dale Robinson last night dropped a couple of key third and shorts, dropped a couple of third and longs. Like, think about it. If those plays, get converted into first downs, how many drives are maintained? How many more touchdowns do they score? Like, the Giants could have legitimately stolen that game from the Cowboys, but they kept shooting themselves in the foot.
Love that point with Wan'Dale. Wandalius. We call him Wandalius here. We do. He's Wandalius because he's kind of like a wolf, but he's not. Yeah. I love that point. I saw. I'm not going to name drop on this show in this manner. I will sometimes to give credit, but I saw a post regarding Wandale's target percentage, which was pretty high.
Right.
I saw that third down drop. What good is the damn target percentage if it doesn't get converted? If
it doesn't result in catches, exactly. So he's getting all the targets, but he's not coming down with the passes. Yeah, it just doesn't mean anything.
What good? Neighbors and they were great. The dropped. Okay, look, I remember the dialogue last season when it came to a lot of the players dropping balls. One in particular comes to mind. Yeah, dropping balls. They need to get their hands together, hands right. All right, that is contributing to the Giants' issues. But another great point with Daniel Jones and the contract that they gave him. You know, a lot of people don't really take into account that when contracts are doled out, I think, and I can't be 100%. Again, I fully transparent. I don't know this for sure because I'm not in the trenches. I'm not an agent. I'm not in the front office. Although I did go to the University of St. John's and studied sports management, but that fell on deaf ears. Okay, listen, they are accounting for market inflation. Are they not? They are taking into account. Okay,
that's why they always pay their guys early.
Well,
that's why they should pay their guys early.
Or good teams, or I shouldn't say good teams. Savvy businessmen, savvy front office personnel, general managers that are responsible for contracts. These are the dudes that are responsible for being fiscal with their freaking football operation.
Like one of the greatest decisions that was made was giving Patrick Mahomes a 10-year deal. When they did, they gave him a 10-year, $500 million deal or something like that. Like they gave him like $500 million or something like that, or like $50 million a year or something like that.
knowing that in whatever year it was, maybe 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, look, we're probably going to have to restructure this and manipulate this contract in a certain direction in order to support the overall team efforts. Your team,
exactly.
Your team, by the way, your wife's team. This is your wife's team for the next 15 years. All right, we got Garrett here in the chat. He's looking for some lineup advice. Garrett,
Amari, Shakir, or Reed? Reed, as in the Packers. Reed. Do we know if Jordan Love is playing on Sunday?
It's trending that way.
Okay.
It's trending that way. And as a Jordan Love owner, I probably will not play him as long as I
was going to say that.
If I have a competent backup. So in one league, I do have Love, but I also have Baker. I think I would roll with Baker against the Eagles.
Yeah.
However, though, AB, I mean, like, look, if there's one wide receiver right now that you may want to get the ball out quick to, right? We don't want Jordan Love scrambling if he's going to play. He's going to have to be in the pocket. And we also believe that Brian Flores is going to, attack Jordan.
He's going to dial it up. Yeah, he's going to dial it up.
He's going to attack this man.
Yeah.
He's going to have to get the ball.
Give room to breathe.
He's going to have to get the ball out. That's why I would say Jordan Reed might be a good play, but the other two options, Khalil Shakir, and Amari, I guess that's Amari Cooper.
I think Shakir is the safest play, only because there's a possibility that this Bills and Ravens game turns into a shootout. And if that does happen, Josh Allen is gonna pass the ball. And did you know that Khalil Shakir has like a 95% catch rate so far playing with Josh Allen?
Dude doesn't
or like something ridiculous. He doesn't drop anything.
You want to talk about drop passes? Khalil Shakir is the opposite of that.
Exactly. Right.
The opposite. Now, granted, Khalil Shakir doesn't see a lot of balls either, but he does go 4 for 4, 5 for 5, absolutely without question. And he was doing it last year, by the way. That's why they had no reservations about letting Diggs walk, letting that other dude walk. That is, he's
Gabe Davis.
That other dude walk. they are a better team right now than they were last season. However, in this situation, I think I would side with you. I would go with the best quarterback on the board here. That would be Khalil Shakir.
Yep.
That's the start right there. While we're on Shakir, Reed, Amari, why don't we build this lineup?
Let's do it.
Let's go through these games. Obviously, the Panthers certainly got a hell of a lot more intriguing now, didn't they?
Absolutely.
We know who the guys are here. We know the chalk is going to be Jamar, Joe,
T. Higgins.
How about Zach Moss? Is Zach Moss valuable against the Panthers in this game? I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Zach Moss.
Yeah. Zach Moss attached to attached to Joe Burrow is always, any running back attached to Joe Burrow is always good value. And apparently Zach Moss is seeing all of majority of the carries. He's seeing all of the carries inside the red zone. So I think that, Zach Moss is RB1 in this game. And it's very possible that the Bengals could be blowing the Panthers out to the point where they're just running the ball just to milk some clock.
I was going to say, is there a world that exists that Chuba Hubbard would be a smash start and super value as a running back against the Bengals? The Bengals defense looked absolutely terrible. This team and that defense, they didn't play the Steelers yet, right? This defense will make the Steelers offense look like it was Big Ben and Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell playing.
Honestly, I think
you know what I'm saying.
Honestly, I think that. So Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football always talks about how week one is a liar, where like in week one the teams come out flat, teams over exceed expectations and things like that. And I think that with the structure of the offseason, the way that is built up, weeks 1 and week 2 are liars. That's what I think. And it could take as far as like week 3 in order for a team to get its identity back, to get like comfortable again, to get back into the flow of things. So I don't think that the Bengals defense is as bad as people think it is. I think that Jaden Daniels put on a masterclass during that Bengals game, and there is no way that Washington should have won that game. But Jaden Daniels made some throws that even veterans don't make. That last throw that he made to Terry McLaurin at the end of the game, he was getting hit while he made that throw. The defender was bearing down on him. He took the shot and delivered it deep after Terry beat his man.
Off the back foot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, off the back foot and everything.
And put enough on the ball. Mm-hmm. Where Terry made the catch, and again, me living vicariously through the NFL because I've been playing fantasy for 22 years because I want to feel like I'm part of it. Right. It's a play like that would just, for me, would just like exude the entire team's confidence, my confidence. We can mother effing beat you.
Mm-hmm. We can hang with anyone.
We could hang with anybody. We got this. So again, a play just like that. Nevertheless, I do want to subscribe to that notion. Like, look, the Bengals haven't gotten it together as far as defense is concerned. The offense now, Joe Cool, Joe Shiesty, Jamar Goat. That all looks like the Bengals. And I know they tried to. He tried to hook up with T. Higgins a couple of times. I think a couple of misses.
T. Higgins is He's gonna score a touchdown in this game. T. Higgins he's from North Carolina. He played at Clemson. So T. Higgins going back to his old stomping grounds. I think he's gonna score a touchdown this weekend.
I think you're also shadowing forecasting, right? T. Higgins, the Panther next season.
Yeah, T. Higgins. I mean, hey, that's possible. It's very possible because I don't think the Bengals are going to pay T. Higgins. I think they're going to pay Jamar, but I don't think they're going to pay T. Higgins. I think they're going to keep Andre Yosivas is going to take over for the T. Higgins role. He's been looking pretty good so far too.
Yeah, the offense looks like the Bengals. It does. It's just, oh my God, that defense. So again, I think the Panthers could very well, sort of replicate what we just saw last week against this team. Our guy Sirhan, who is a podcaster, much like what we're doing right now. God bless Sirhan, is a good friend of ours. Great person, great mutual connection. He was at that game.
Yeah, see.
He's like the Bengals.
I think it's Washington that had no business winning that game, man. Like I know the Bengals defense wasn't really everything that they were supposed to be, but if you think about it though, like Washington went for it on a couple of key like fourth down calls. So like that matters too, because let's say for example 1 or 2 of those calls don't go their way and then they end up getting turnovers, then the Bengals could turn those into points. So like it's just that's just how it is in the NFL. Like you take some chances. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. So it's just like, it just wasn't their day. But the Bengals should have definitely won that game.
Lord. Well, again, our guy Cern's going to tell it like it is. And he's hard on his Bengals.
Oh, yeah, I hear him. Yeah, I hear him.
Like every guy, gal that is dedicated and devoted to their team should be hard on their team.
They should be, yeah.
Now we're going to come to this game where you would think Jay Sieg, would be hard on his Jets. I got news for everybody. Technically not a Jet fan. The Don P. Patrick Pucci pegs me as the Jet fan, and that's okay. That really is. Look, I want to see them win. I want to see them do well. I think it's great for the fans. I will be hard on the Jets, and objectively so, because I'm not a Jet fan.
Right.
Saran, though, is going to be hard on his Bengals. He's a diehard Bengal. I'm not that diehard Jet fan.
Right.
But there are plenty of people that are excited about this team, this game. The Jets are supposed to win this game. Look at the line.
7.5.
The
Did you know that? Did you know that so far that teams who are 5.5 point underdogs or greater have like a ridiculous like covering record? Like they're like 29-17 or something like that.
For this year?
For this year. In last week there were eight underdogs that just flat out won their games that their spreads were -5.5 or more.
Okay, so
underdogs have been covering by a lot.
In other words, like, okay, so when there's a line that's around 5.5 to 7.5, 8 points, anything below double digits, but around the threshold of 5.5, the dogs that are getting the points are covering that. So
it happened last night. Cowboys were -5.5, and the Giants covered.
Going with that trend, that would indicate, or that would tell us, if you are savvy, and by the way, you should only bet what you could afford to lose, people. Absolutely. Let's not get out of control. If you think you have an issue with gambling, there are plenty of resources out there that you should contact, and just know it will be all right. But again, only bet what you can afford to lose, bet responsibly. That's telling us that the Broncos are the pick here.
Broncos plus 7.5 is a great play this weekend.
As in, the Jets probably will win this game, but they will not win by more than a touchdown. I think that Nathaniel Hackett and Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers are going to try to pile drive.
They're going to try
this Broncos team through that hard surface at MetLife Stadium. That's what I think. Now, that's not to say that Sean Payton won't have this team somewhat ready.
Right.
The matchup for the wide receivers, I want to talk to you about this. There's one superstar, on this Broncos team, and he happens to be Patrick Surtain Jr. Superstar defensive back. He's most likely going to be assigned to Garrett Wilson. Now, we heard almost 6 days ago, from Aaron Rodgers himself telling us that Garrett Wilson and the coverages are focused on stopping him.
Yeah,
two high safeties, over the top, bullseye on Garrett Wilson to stop him. Well, guess what? That's not stopping Aaron Rodgers from hitting the other open wide receivers. So now now in my mind, it's a real big chess match. Would you play any of the other wide receivers on the Jets? Would you play Garrett Wilson on the Jets?
I personally, I'm playing Garrett Wilson in one of my fantasy leagues. I'm starting him, but that's because I don't really have another backup that I trust. But if I had someone else, I would definitely play someone else over him. Like Patrick Surtain, he has been playing at an all-pro level so far. Mike Evans had like 2 catches for 37 yards last week. The week before that, he shut down whatever receiver that he was on. So like he's the real deal. If there is a receiver from this though that I would start is Alan Lazard. because he has the connection with Aaron Rodgers.
He
And I
does.
feel like when all the attention is on Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard will get a bunch of easy completions. Maybe he gets into the end zone, or maybe he gets some yak yards. But I know he'll probably get more receptions than Garrett Wilson this game.
Alan Lazard,
Mm-hmm.
his guy. It's his guy.
Yeah, he's a different man with Aaron Rodgers.
You know, we might be having the same conversation with oh my god, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on it. Like his he's godson. He's the godfather to the dude's son, the other wide receiver. Who?
A.J. Brown. He's the godfather to Jalen Hurts' son.
No, the other dude that he brought from Green Bay. Who's the other wide receiver? That he brought?
Randall Cobb.
That's it.
Yeah, Randall Cobb.
We might be having that same conversation if Randall Cobb was playing an active. If you're going to double cover Garrett Wilson, he's basically daring you to do it. He's got the other options. He's got Alan Lazard. He's got Mike Williams. Mike Williams, by the way, bravo to Mike Williams, who actually has made it back week 1. Now playing in week 4 from the ACL tear. I'm still looking for Alan Lazard, and I want to see the price.
It's got to be low.
It is definitely low because I'm still scrolling. I may not have found them, or I definitely not found them. In any event, we'll get to it. Let's put a pin for Alan Lazard. Again, we're going to build the most optimal lineup. We want home run hitters that are going to smash. We also want the guys that are going to provide us with fantasy scoring, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
For the right price. I don't see that happening with any Broncos. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't trust in the Broncos at all.
No.
Yeah, I've benched all of my Broncos players in fantasy. I don't. That offense is not it.
No, that's not it. Unfortunately, it really is. I was not a believer in any of the wide receivers. I still am holding out hope for Jaleel McLaughlin.
Oh yeah,
he's look. We were on him last season. Before Bo Nix even came onto the scene, when it was a shit show of an offense, we believed in McLovin, and we still have not seen it fully materialize, and that's unfortunate because the offense is not working there. Nevertheless, let's go to this man's former team. The Saints are getting a point in the Falcons, a divisional rivalry matchup, somewhat of a low-scoring affair. Bijan, I guess, would be a play or consideration. The Saints D's not bad, right?
They're very good defense. Yeah, they're very good defense.
I think Arthur Smith's not there for any type of revenge game out of this situation from last season. Chris Olave wound up on the injury report.
Alvin Kamara's on the injury report too. It's just a lot of like last minute or last second injuries.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I would play. What about Shaheed?
Shaheed, oh my God! After what he did to me last weekend, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there anymore.
No bias. We can't play with bias, AB.
We're
going to look at this objectively.
Okay. So objectively, right? Without any bias, I think Rashid Shaheed's main strength is the deep ball, and I think the Falcons' 2 safeties won't allow anyone to go over the top on them. So like Justin Simmons won't allow anybody to go deep, Jesse Bates won't allow anybody to go deep, and I think that's the kind of player that Rashid Shaheed is. So I don't think that he's a safe play at all in that situation.
Yeah, he dropped the ball or 2. He's never really been asked to take on like the wide receiver alpha. Whoa, yeah, and you know what else is interesting about this? We're 3 years into it. We're still waiting for Chris Olave to take on that role, but yet he's on the injury report. Now, I am not a Chris Olave fantasy manager. I don't necessarily have this issue, but if you have this issue, folks, we're here to guide you through it, number one. Number 2, We're going to have AB make the call in terms of whether or not Shaheed is the play at his value. And, of course, for our number one GOAT, it's in Kamara we trust. We trust.
Absolutely.
We trust
Kamara is the only player I would start absolutely out of this matchup.
He's the alpha wide receiver.
Yeah, right? Yeah, pretty much. And I've been trying to tell people for a couple of years now, like Chris Olave has the talent. Chris Olave has the makings of a wide receiver one, but the problem is the offense that he's in. And granted, this offense is much more improved than what it used to be before. But I feel like because of the quarterback play, Chris Olave probably won't get the necessary targets or the necessary looks that he needs to get all the production. And that's why, like you said, Alvin Kamara might as well be the alpha wide receiver there.
And dare I say, we see tight ends get in the mix. I don't even want to mention
they
that.
Could. Yeah.
I don't even want to mention that guy's name on our show. I'm gonna.
He's another one.
I'm gonna reserve some right, and a tiny bit of bias.
SoCal Barnard is absolutely correct, by the way. You definitely need to look at the O-line injuries because the Falcons are dealing with some injuries. The Saints are dealing with some injuries in the trenches. So, I think that would play a really big factor, too.
This is the lead analyst for the Patrick Pucci Fantasy Show, along with yourself, the SoCal Bull Nerd Wolf Man. Yeah, I mean, he's all over it. He's absolutely all over it. Should we put in heavy consideration? Do you want to maybe put Alvin in the spot now at his price?
What's his price right now?
Why don't we just get it up?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you. I want to show the wolf. I want to show Husot. Share. I'm going to share this sucker. If we win, you win. It's as simple as that. It really is simple. All right, let me folks, this is week 4. We will get there. We will get there, I promise. I'll get all this down. We're gonna have production assistance by 2025. Oh man, Alvin is way up there at 8,600.
8,600. Oof.
I mean, look, compared to Bijan at 83, compared to JT playing the Steelers, compared to, you think Kyron's going to go off again like that?
Absolutely.
Do you?
Absolutely. Kyron is their best weapon. And right now, the Bears defense, their DBs are great, but that inside run game their linebackers are not really playing that well right now. And you can see the opponent ranking for next to Kyron is 23rd.
Yeah.
I think a very good play at running back this week is Cam Akers.
Well, we definitely have more than one spot, right? He is home. We gave him a go. When I say we, the community,
right,
gave Cam Akers a go in many situations in a flex spot based on, again, what we talked about earlier, injury. He was on the road, so I think that was a little bit of a tough situation.
And he still scored.
A tough spot, and he scored. I think we could see I'm calling it a vintage game. I mean, vintage. The dude's not playing more than 4 or 5 years, and in half of it. Nevertheless, I think this could be a very, very good spot for Cam Akers as well. I'm fully on board with that call. I mean, look, the Alvin Kamara. Look,
cheap.
If you want to pass
Cam
on
Akers
Alvin,
at 6,100.
So here, compare to if, because I just saw Mixon here.
Joe Mixon, I don't think he's playing though.
Well, just to compare the price though.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
So Joe Mixon, a little bit higher caliber of a player, they're saying. I'm not sure how much higher of a caliber running back Joe Mixon really is. We don't have enough of a sampling from Cam Akers at all. But 7,900 compared to the 61. You want to look here? We can put him in now. There he is. If you want to change him based on some of the other matchups, we could change him.
Yeah, I think he's my favorite running back play this week.
Fantastic.
Because he's supposed to be in a game, it's a game where the Houston Texans are favored. So that means they should be playing with the lead for a lot of the game. So they'll be handing the ball off a lot. He's great in that zone run scheme. So I think that he's in for a really good day.
So it says here the fantasy points per game. I guess that's the average, 5.69. Played 2. What is played 2? 2 games? Or two other DFS lineups have Cam Akers. What does the 2 mean?
I think it means that's the amount of games that he played, and I think
I hope that's what it means, and not 2 other lineups out of the 1,000. What do we got from George Clay? Should I trade Mason and JSN for CMC and Love? No. I'm not even gonna go through the rest of the question, George.
Yeah.
My other running backs are Barkley, Gibbs, non-PPR.
Non-PPR. So then keep Trey Mason, and you have a 3-headed monster.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm actually glad I read the rest of it, George. Non-PPR. Mason hasn't even been used in the passing game. It looks like he's just like a strict traditional bell cow running back right now. He's not even inserted for any of what CMC used to do.
Yep.
I mean, and it doesn't look like he's needed to. I mean, that's not to say that it doesn't change. However, Jordan Mason is like a freaking home run right now. Why? I wouldn't.
He's a must play.
I'm not. Well, no, I wouldn't trade him. Look.
No. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Should I trade Mason along with JSN to get CMC back?
Yeah, you're losing in that trade.
Yeah, no, my friend. I'm gonna hold Jordan. I'm gonna hold Jackson. Jackson, we're still waiting for him to really erupt. The Seahawks seem content to be very run focused. I get it. They're going to be very DK centric. I get it. I think what we're waiting for with JSN is just like to be that other option. No Tyler Lockett.
It's hard though.
And it's not and the volume is not there yet either. But as a wide receiver 3, right? As your wide receiver 3, it's not a bad play for maybe 8 to 10 fantasy points.
Exactly.
In your wide receiver 3. If this is a 2 wide receiver league, JSN right now is a bench play. But I don't make that trade, George. I don't.
I agree.
Let's get through the rest of the slate. How about this?
Ooh, Vikings Packers.
The 3-0 Vikings. We just spoke about this a little bit a while ago, AB. I think Brian Flores looks like he's got a defense that is playing.
They mean business.
They're firing on all cylinders. Let's just put it that way. And I don't think that we've really seen the maximum potential that defense could do. So, in other words, what we're seeing from the Vikings defense, we may see something completely different now against the Packers. And what I believe it's going to be is a ton of pressure. A ton of pressure. Now again, look. This is another great chess match. Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur, one of the LaFleurs
versus Brian Flores.
And then on the other side, O'Connell, KOC, what he's doing with Darnold and his quarterback-proof wide receiver. Wide receiver 1. He's got to be wide receiver 1 right now.
Who, Justin Jefferson?
Gotta be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's matchup-proof. He's quarterback-proof. He's game script-proof. He's just a dominant wide receiver. Honestly, I wish I would have drafted him over Jamar Chase in the first round of my 2 fantasy leagues that I got Chase in. But I'm like, hindsight is 20/20. I'm not really too upset about it.
Many of us that we're kind of like teetering around that mid-round, that 5 spot, that 6 spot, that 7 spot. If you had that spot, you had to make that decision on whether you were going to draft Justin Jefferson or not. If you picked 3 or if you picked 10 or 11, you didn't have that issue.
Right.
You didn't.
Right.
Your issue was whether you were going to take CMC or pass on CMC. That was your issue there. And in the back of the draft, your issue was whether you were going to take Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs. None of that's worked out so far.
Right.
None of it. It's okay, though. That you don't necessarily win your league in the first round.
In the first round, right?
However, yes, we have a quarterback-proof wide receiver. We've got complementary pieces. I'm not sure if you want to play any of those. We've got another guy, Aaron Jones, who seems to be gelling and playing very well on this. Again, I don't want to really take away. I can't take away anything from the Vikings right now. I am more of a Packer. That's where some of my, fantasy players are, like Christian Watson, Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love. Yeah, so I'm more Packer. I'm more fantasy biased to the Packers. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to.
I like the Packers. I like that Packers offense. I like Jalen Naylor. I think he's a really good play too. Him and Sam seem to have some good chemistry. While Jordan Addison is out, I like Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, depending on his value, he's also a very good like flex play or second running back play. I like that play a lot. I'm not really touching any of the Packers this week. Even if Jordan Love plays, I want to see them, play together for at least a week or so before inserting anyone in there. But Aaron Jones is a really good running back play, and he's a productive runner. He's shifty, he's super athletic, his hands are awesome. So and they involve him a lot in the red zone. So he's definitely a good upside play.
I want to be tempted. I am tempted to have you make the call on Justin Jefferson, but for $200 less, we could take the GOAT Jamar and play him. See, here's the thing: is they're in Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay's gonna play them tough. No, I mean,
I think so.
I don't think the Vikings offense is just gonna erupt in Lambeau Field. I just don't see that either. What's the total there? That's a low total, 43.5.
Yeah, 43.5.
Yeah, that's not very high. That's
the spread is 3.5.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we could do better. I think we could do better with another wide receiver, with another hunter.
And I know that this is a very pricey stack, but I definitely love the Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. stack this week.
Whoa. We weren't going to get to the main event.
Oh.
We were going to get
Sorry
to the
about
main
that. Sorry about
that. No. You're going to tease it for the audience. The main event.
What are the prices for some other wide receivers here? Like if you scroll down a little bit.
All right, so you see Jefferson is at 94 and Chase is at 92. I mean, look, it's like an infirmary over here. I don't know why is Cooper Kupp even listed here?
Yeah, I'm not even sure. And he's out too, so that's so weird.
Of course he's out. And AJ Brown. Okay, so AJ Brown actually was limited.
It's questionable, yeah.
It's showing. Should I refresh this? Yeah,
try and see if it changes anything. Yeah.
No, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose the lineup.
Right.
Or the contest itself. Jamar Chase is at 92. Rashee Rice is at 85.
Mike Evans at 8,000 is really nice.
Where's he been?
I mean, they played the Broncos last week. That was the Patrick Surtain effect. And in the first 2 weeks of the season, he scored a touchdown.
So we could very well get a Mike Evans game.
We could, yeah, especially against this Eagles defense, this Eagles secondary, absolutely.
In Tampa Bay.
Then
the Bucks took it to this team last year. In the playoffs, they demolished them. But it's only 1.5 now in Tampa, 42.5. Todd Bowles has got this team playing well. He's got them playing well. There's no starting any of the running backs because that situation right now is
it's too muddy.
It's definitely muddy. It could very well be that same muddiness ambiguous for the rest of the season. If Bucky Irving, if he's running well for them on first and second down, he's going to get the nod and carry the ball on first and second down. And Rachaad White is going to be the guy that's in on third down and excel at his role.
Yep.
Now, for fantasy purposes, that's a great role.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's not helping his total touches and his volume.
At all.
It's hurting the situation actually.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Evans, look, $8,000.
8,000 is not bad.
$8,000 for Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
I want to go back to this game.
Yeah.
Because it's almost a dire situation.
Oh, a check on Dallas Goddard's price as far as tight ends from this game, for the Bucks and Eagles game.
You mean their only receiver?
Their only healthy receiver, right? Oh, of course he's the most expensive one. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, no, we could probably get better value at another tight end.
You know, if Devontae Adams is ruled out already.
Yeah, he is ruled out.
Devontae Adams, by the way. When the hell was the last time Devontae Adams missed a game?
Right. Right.
Look, there was a report. This time I will name drop. Ari Mironov, My Sports Update, the 33rd team, dropped a video regarding Devontae Adams, regarding how if the Raiders continue to go south, based on Devontae Adams' contract, they could try to move him, or he may force a trade. Now, of course, the destination everybody would be looking at is the Jets because of the connection with Aaron Rodgers. That remains to be seen. However, Devontae Adams doesn't miss football games, so something else might be going on there. Nevertheless, this could very well be a Brock Bowers game. Dare I say, I don't know, Jacoby Myers. You know what? Jacoby Myers had a couple of good games last year.
Trey Turner, maybe.
All right. So back to the Jaguars. This is a dire situation for them. They're in Texas. They're going to have to play. They're gonna have to resemble a team that could. I don't see them winning, and I see them going 0-4. However, they can't get beat in this game.
They don't have a choice.
No, I'm saying like they can't like really get beat as well.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you, but they don't have a choice. The Jags don't have the manpower. They don't, unfortunately, and they've been stripping this team down to the nails for the past couple of years, and people kept saying that they're Super Bowl contenders, and I'm like, how? They're losing linemen, they're losing weapons. This guy Trevor Lawrence is like playing in a very like stagnant manner. It's like they're not improving. They weren't improving as a team.
No.
And I really think that this could be a situation where the Houston Texans could take the loss from last week and they could take it out on the Jaguars this week, and they could very well blow them out.
Take it out on them.
Take it, yeah, exactly.
Like if there was ever a team to have a remedy to get right, it would be this situation that's unfolded. I don't believe that when the schedule makers were coming up with this and they said, week 4, let's get this divisional game. I don't think they thought the Jaguars would be 0-3.
Nope, they did not. I mean, a lot of people were saying that the Jaguars were the second best team in AFC South, and they were projecting them to be a wild card team, and Houston was going to run away with the division and all this other stuff. But it's like, football isn't played on paper. No. It's like every offseason we learn that same lesson all over again. Football is not played on paper. Oh, by the way, check on the defenses and check to see what the price would be for the Houston Texans defense.
I like that. I was looking at them in one of our leagues. The Texans defense. I
think they're very reasonably priced.
I wound up picking up the Raiders defense, and now I hear that
Max Crosby
is most likely out. I will most likely drop the Raiders defense now because he is their freaking defense.
Pretty much.
I know. Oh my God. Let's the Texans. Texans should be higher than this, shouldn't they?
No, they're not valued very high. Yeah, There you go. Yeah. They're not valued very high because of the divisional game, because they're playing a division opponent. So they're thinking, it's supposed to be a close game. But this is where, you should try and target the mismatches, just like last week, how we targeted Green Bay because Green Bay was playing Tennessee and Tennessee's O-line is really bad. This is another one of those situations where Houston's D-line is that much better than Jacksonville's O-line. So you can expect Houston to come after Trevor Lawrence. You can expect them to try and suffocate him, try and squeeze the pocket and force him to make some tough decisions.
I'm all for it. I agree with you. I do. I love Danielle Hunter. I love their head coach.
Oh yeah, he's a really good head coach.
I love their head coach. And again, just what we were saying, if this is a game for the Texans to get right, it's almost like they're handing it to them on a silver platter. All right, AB. I think,
and they're coming off a loss too, so that's that's extra motivation.
There's no Jaguar whatsoever that I would play here.
None. Maybe Brian Thomas Jr. is worth like a dart flex throw. Like, let's say, for example, if we're running out of money towards the end of this whole thing and we need to squeeze it within a budget, I think that Brian Thomas Jr. would probably offer us that that ability. But that's something we could think about when we're done putting everything else together.
We'll definitely put a pin in that one.
Yeah.
I was also, I'm not a Stephon Diggs guy. I'm also liking him, but I don't know about the price. We're going to leave that one up to you. I do want to get to this marquee matchup here of your Indianapolis Colts versus Don P and Uncle Jazzy Steelers. Here we go. Now, the Steelers, the freaking 3-0 Steelers that probably score about 11 points a game versus the Colts, who, are a little disappointing. No, and the quarterback is definitely disappointing at this time. But I do want to reserve the analysis to you. All I'm going to say is, we're gonna keep in mind that it's only week 4. We're waiting for it to gel. But again, this is one of these times where there's no favors here for the Colts. The only favor I could see is that they're home.
Right.
They are home.
And we have a bit of an advantage on the O-line. We do have one of the best O-lines in the league, so we could take advantage of that. But for us to do that, we'd have to run the ball a lot. It would have to be a game where we're rushing for 200 yards, and it's got to be combined between AR, JT, some zone read stuff, some end arounds to Josh Downs and things like that. We've got to get creative in the run game because that defensive front is not going to give AR time to sit in the pocket and try and pick the defense apart. I don't think that this is the defense for that at all. But if there was a play in this game for me, aside from JT, but I know that JT is probably going to be one of the top 3 running backs, priced on this. So I don't know that I would want to take that. The only play that I would be very confident in, and I think that would be priced pretty fairly, would be Pat Freiermuth at tight end.
Oh boy, the Muth. Again, someone that we thought that he was going to be utilized more.
Right.
We thought that Arthur Smith is going to love his tight end and use his
not
tight end.
Passing volume.
There's no. I don't want to say no. There's not enough passing volume. That's exactly right. Where is he? I see likely. Everyone. I hope everybody reserved some fab money after spending it all.
Oh my God.
I hope you guys got some dollars.
That was insane.
I'm pretty sure we're on record as to don't go spending that amount of money, but you never know. A wolf is calling for Najee. It's a Najee. It's a Najee get right game.
I don't know.
Well, Najee hasn't been doing bad. He hasn't. It's not like he hasn't scored.
But I think that our offense has made enough improvements last week that they're not gonna let Najee have that kind of a game. I don't think he's gonna have an explosion game this week. Yeah, I don't think so.
What do you think of? Because you mentioned him just before. playing in his second game will be Josh Downs. What do you think about Josh Downs? Because going into the season, we were being told, or we were looking at the fact that Anthony Richardson, in his 4 games last season, he loved Josh Downs. Josh Downs was his wide receiver. All right, so now Anthony Richardson is about to start his 4th game of this season. Josh Downs is about to start his second game of this season. Could this be the remedy for the Colts and Anthony Richardson? Like we talked about earlier. Now Josh Downs maybe has now more reps, more practice. He's fully healthy. Could this be the game? Is Josh Downs worth inserting into this lineup?
I think it's risky. Like, I think if you were to insert him into the lineup, like, I don't think that it would be a bad bet at all. But the passing game goes as Anthony Richardson goes. And because of the fact that we've seen so much variance within the first few games, it's like it's not really a safe bet to bet on Josh Downs. So, like, that's why I'd probably lean towards someone else. But again, I mean, for example, I would much rather put Brian Thomas Jr. in the lineup in hopes that he gets some garbage time yards because the Jags are getting blown out, rather than put Josh Downs into the lineup in hopes that, you know, Anthony Richardson figures it out this upcoming game. Like, I think the better bet is to bet on the guy who's already getting volume, who's already getting yardage, who's already a big part of his offense, rather than a guy who's just coming back trying to figure it out still.
All right, so the Wolf. Yeah, of course, the Steelers want to run the ball, and the Wolf doesn't think that the Colts are stopping that run either.
I think they will.
I think they will.
I think the guys are going to play with a purpose because they know that they have to stop the run. Because they know that the Steelers are going to try and pound the rock. They know Justin Fields is going to try and run with the ball. He's not going to try and beat them through the air and throw the ball 25, 26, 30 times. So I think our defense will definitely focus on, you know, stopping the run first and foremost.
All right, Najee's somebody to look at.
Yeah, depending on the price, he's not a bad play at all. He's going to be the only person back there. Oh, I think a better play in that game would be Cordero Patterson instead of Najee Harris.
Ooh. Well, everybody, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Patrick Pucci Fantasy Show. This will conclude now with the idea of Cordero Patterson. Just joking, my guy. Just joking. The Joker Cordero Patterson is like just one of these things, one of these guys, almost like a Taysom Hill, that is just, he doesn't belong in fantasy. He doesn't belong in any type of format of fantasy whatsoever. Cordero Joker Patterson. You know, the Scott Fish Bowl, when it came to coming up with the settings, and they're always very unique settings. This season, it was very, very, very heavy kicker, or because of the returns. So very heavy on the returners.
Right.
Everyone in their grandmother drafted Cordero Patterson very high. Someone like Rashid Shaheed was drafted very high in the 4th round because of the return ability. I'm not sure if Rashid has returned any balls. And my contention really in the preseason was, well, look, if the Saints are going to rely on Rashid Shaheed in their passing game as like a serious wide receiver too, I don't think they're going to roll him out to make returns. I haven't really tracked it though. Not sure how that is going so far. Nevertheless, I wouldn't play. I mean, look, if you want to play Cordero Patterson, we could play Cordero Patterson. But I don't really want to play Cordero Patterson.
I hear you. Yeah, but when Cordero Patterson is one of 2 healthy running backs that are going to be in the backfield, you know Arthur Smith is going to find a way to get him involved somehow. Like, you just know he will. You know, it's going to be a situation where it's like Najee gets like 14 carries, he gets down inside the 10, and then Cordero Patterson takes it in for the touchdown. Do we want that 6.50 or that 7.50? Is that going to get us to a winning lineup? Not really going to move the needle. Yeah,
that's the question. That's the question for you.
It's not really going to move the needle, no. If that's the only carry or that's the only production that he has is that 1 touchdown, but he gets like 20 yards, like, yeah, that doesn't really do much for us as a whole, no.
Or that end around trickery that they may pull off where they catch the Colts off guard and
Right.
so he got a nice little 2.5 on the
Right.
end around or how about could you see a halfback toss?
He could, yeah.
Right? I mean, so some sort of trickery, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Will that be enough for us? That's the
Yeah, I
question
don't
for
think
you.
so.
That's
Yeah, I
the
don't think
question for you.
so.
The Bears and the Rams, 40.5. This seems
Mm.
like a game that could go to 50.5.
I think so too. Yeah.
I don't see where 40 is coming into play. What
Right.
is it gonna be snowing in Chicago? Is it
I
bad
have no
weather?
clue.
Is it bad weather now in the beginning of October? I mean, why is it 40.5?
I don't know.
There's
One.
Matthew Stafford. There's Caleb Williams on one hand,
Well,
who I
well,
mean,
actually, one of the possibilities is that the Rams could, rely on the run game a lot, so they could run the ball for majority of the afternoon, and the Bears are just trying to catch up.
Roshan.
Roshan is a really good play. Yeah, I love Roshan as a play.
Roshan.
Mm-hmm.
It's Roshan.
Yeah, I love Roshan as a play.
I was drafting Roshan before there was the season.
Nice.
Before there was waivers.
Nice.
Roshan was rostered because I don't believe in DeAndre Swift. That's right.
I'm not
folks.
behind this O-line.
So now while people are looking in their waivers and their free agents because because DeAndre Swift looks like crap and they're looking for O'Shawn Johnson, you got to be a step ahead, folks. That's what
You do.
I think that's the point that we're trying to make. Try to see what's going to happen ahead of time. Of course, use your news resources. Stay on top of that. And then on Sunday, you could changes are made in season all the time. That's the whole point of this exercise. My little skit. Try to be a step ahead. Like you know that Kendra Miller should be coming off IR, and you know that and Jamal Williams is 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you may want to you could take a look at Kendra Miller if he ever gets out of the doghouse. That's another example. Let me get to Tent before I go back to the Wolf. What's up, Tent? How you doing, man? Welcome to the Patrick Bucci Fantasy Show. It's the 9 o'clock hour. We're freaking rolling. We're about to build $1 million lineup. I don't know if that's how much we win. I really don't. No, I mean, look. I look for the lineup for you. 300K to first.
Nice.
300K to first. So when we win 300K, well, first we have to divide that up amongst the goats. So the goats is going to get nice pieces, and then we're just going to give away shit.
Yeah, why not?
And we're just going to give away tons of effing stuff. How much is Komet? Yeah, I know a lot of people are high on this dude also. Now, if Keenan Allen isn't going to play, and we've got Romo Dunes, what about DJ Moore?
DJ Moore has been so quiet lately.
How about I feel like
go ahead.
Go on. No. Go. DJ.
I feel like for some reason that Caleb has a better connection with Rome than he does with DJ Moore. And that's crazy because DJ Moore is the vet and DJ Moore is the more experienced guy. But it feels like every time Caleb drops back, he's looking for Rome. It feels like Rome is his wide receiver one.
Security blanket, right?
Yeah.
It's always a security blanket for the rookie quarterback. Go find your tight end, go find your running back.
But hey, DJ Moore wanted the Bears to keep Justin Fields. They had crazy chemistry.
Cole Kmet, $5,300 at home, playing the Rams, who probably can't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah. Yeah, Cole Kmet's not a bad play, actually. He's a very good, he's a safe floor, but a very good upside play for sure. I definitely take him as our tight end.
You want to put him in?
Yeah, why not?
I trust in the Wolf with all matters, considering fantasy, considering handicapping. I trust in the Wolf. Like if I had to go into the ditch with a couple of guns and fight off like the invaders. That's how much I trust in the wolf. Tent Ganja. That's a hell of a name, man.
Right?
I'm all for it. I need y'all opinion on the flex spot. It's a half PPR with Brian Thomas, Shakir, or Ford. And stop whispering into the mic, bro. That shit is weird as fuck. Joe Pesci sounding ass. That's me, man. Tent, that's me. And guess what, man? Tent. Number one, half PPR. I'm not starting Brian Thomas. Shakir is not that great of a play. We're big fans of Jerry Ford here. We are. Jerome Ford. He might get another option here. If this is your flex, half PPR, I would go with Jerome Ford. And as far as the whispering into the microphone, Tent, this is the Patrick Pucci fantasy show that I created so I can whisper into the microphone when I want. I love you, man. Thank you for coming. That's the advice, bro. That's it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look, in all serious, in the flex, half PPR, Brian Thomas Jr., I don't think that's a really good option. I really don't. I think I would go with the running back here.
He can get some good garbage yards. He can get a couple deep shots.
Yeah, so like Trevor, if we think Trevor Lawrence is going to be in trouble in this game, which we do,
right? That's true.
Texans, yeah, he's going to try to get the ball to Brian Thomas. He's going to try to get the ball to Christian Kirk. If Christian Kirk is healthy, he's going to try to get the ball to his new tight end, Brent Strange. He's going to try to get the ball to whoever's open. I'm not sure if Brian Thomas Jr., the go route wide receiver on this team, is really a viable option at this time.
That's true. I agree with that.
I just don't know if he's that complete to be able to garner enough open attention.
Right. I hear you. Yeah, Jerome Ford is definitely the safer play there. Yeah, that's true.
In the flex, I think Jerry Ford is the safer play. Ted Ganja, man. I appreciate you coming. I do. Look, if you're here and we win, we're gonna send it to Tent. Send it to Tent, baby. Let's get to another game. Shit. Rams. We covered the Rams. We covered the Eagles, right?
Eagles and Bucks. We covered that.
Okay. We're not gonna skip over. We're gonna go back to this game because let's go to the marquee.
There we go.
This is the game
that beautiful $50 right there.
This is the game where we're going to find some high scoring affairs. Now, I don't know if it's going to be necessarily from the Commanders. I love Brian Robinson, the real Robinson. I don't know what Bijan is, but this guy, again, I said it before on the Patrick Pucci Fantasy Show space with NFL Rumors, that look, Ricky Pearsall must be sitting at home with the injury report laughing that these dudes with like low ankle sprains or bruised ribs and this and that are being ruled out. This man got shot close range in the chest. God bless him, missed every vital organ and is now waiting to get activated to play football.
Right.
So yeah, in any event, Brian Robinson Jr. was shot. God bless him. He's back and he's I love Brian Robinson Jr. I don't know. We want to see.
What's his price here, Brian Robinson Jr.?
We want to see Scary Terry do it again. I don't know if we're going to get good volume there. I think this is the smash game for Marvin Harrison Jr. And if we want to do the stack, I think it would be Kyler Murray, and this is where we spend the money. However, it's your call. Let's go to Brian Robinson Jr. here. Well, here's Bijan at 83, JT 82.
Brian Robinson Jr.'s gotta be cheap. There we go. 7,300. There we go.
Is this considered cheap?
Absolutely it is. For a guy, in a game with a 50.5 point total, for a guy who's the clear number one running back in the backfield and a guy who's going to get, every handoff inside the red zone. If Jaden Daniels doesn't take it in himself, he's handing it to Brian Robinson Jr. So I think that 73 is a good price, but if we're going to go with the stack with the Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison stack, we might want to do that first and then come back to see if we can afford Brian Robinson Jr.
All right, so let's do that. The Wolf, he'd be down to have AB, which is you, in the football ditch with us. Well, of course, absolutely.
I would be honored.
Absolutely. It's like freaking, this is the goat house. This is like the soldiers, the rulers of fantasy. No, that's luck. We play this game and love this game just like the next man.
Mm-hmm.
When it's all said and done, when we're watching this stuff on Thursday night, Sunday all day, Monday all day, and we see, it's like happiness.
It is.
It's fun.
It brings a tear to a grown man's eye.
It's love, not necessarily. Yes, there was a great connection last night. Dak to CD, 50-yarder. Yes, that's beautiful. But we want we want to see more Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Ted is old enough to remember his father, Marvin Harrison.
Oh yeah,
that guy.
Mm-hmm. That guy was legit.
That guy right there, legit.
Mm-hmm.
The breakout season wasn't necessarily. It wasn't Peyton's first season because Peyton's first season was shit.
Oh yeah.
But I believe, and of course I could just go look this up. And I've looked at it plenty of times and just obviously my brain doesn't remember things. I'm pretty sure it was Peyton's second season, Marv's fourth season.
That was the year that they drafted Edgerrin James. Edgerrin James was the reason why I believe that he was the reason why that our offense was unlocked that year, because of the threat that he was out of the backfield and because of what he could do. It brought more attention to the box, and Marv just got to pick on whoever he wanted to outside one-on-one.
I remember vividly thinking to myself, these guys, they're trying to copy the Rams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it wasn't
show on turf. Yeah,
but it wasn't necessarily that offense. But that's what I remember saying to myself. Look, they had these pieces are in place, and I think they want to be the Rams the next. And they kind of were.
Wait, didn't we trade Marshall Faulk to the Rams in order to draft Edge? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And those are just great seasons, and. Unfortunately, but not unfortunately, the Colts just continued to run into Bill Belichick.
Oh my God!
I know we could talk about this a lot, but we'll save it for another time, or maybe off show. But yes, I pay homage. I pay homage to that man. Now his son, so that's aging myself, is now playing in the league, and Are we rolling? Are we going to roll with him? Are we rolling with Kyler? We know this is the game where we want the fireworks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Is it though? Is it? I just want to make sure.
I think so.
This is the game.
I think this is another prime bounce back spot because again, the Cards are going to be at home. They fell short last week against the Lions, and I think that they should have won that game. A call or two goes their way, and they could easily be walking away with the victory. So I think that this week that the Cardinals are going to try and, assert their dominance against that Washington defense, and that Washington defense, those DBs, they can't cover anyone. And Trey McBride is also out. So I would expect Marv to have a Malik Neighbors style game where he has 9 catches for 110 yards and possibly a touchdown or two.
Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you subscribe to the belief that Kyler Murray loves his tight ends? Now you have to go back a little bit. And again, I know I'm putting you on the spot without any real stats data in front of you, But just off the top of your head, or what do you believe? What do you think? Because I know I've had this discussion before that Kyler Murray loves his tight ends because he had this one great season or half a season with Zach Ertz.
My belief is that Kyler Murray loves his best playmaker. Whoever that is, he loves his best playmaker. Whether it was Hollywood Brown,
Whether it's
whether
himself.
it was CeeDee Lamb, whether it was himself.
Yeah.
Right now, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. And I think that that's what got him into trouble last week against the Lions, because he threw 2 bombs into the end zone for Marvin Harrison Jr. And I think one of them got picked off, and then the other one was deflected. But he's the type of person, whenever he finds the best player on the field, he's going to sprinkle that best player until the defense stops him. And he did that last year with what's his name? He did that last year with Trey McBride.
You know, right. So, okay. You know, when you got back onto the field and you had this rising, ascending star tight end, it's very easy to develop a connection with him. But to your point, and I fully believe that, look, he's gonna hit whoever is open for him. Whatever the play may be designed for. I don't believe Kyler Murray is someone that makes two plus reads. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
We were speaking about that earlier regarding, like I think we were talking about Caleb. I think Caleb's third read, Kyler's third read is him looking to take off and run.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
I think read 1 is whoever the play was designed for. If that doesn't work, then he uses his legs to try and buy a little bit more time to try and see if someone comes open, and then he gets them the ball. And then read 3 is him just taking off.
I fully agree.
I definitely believe that.
And I know a lot of people. I'm one of them. I'm certainly one of them. I drafted Trey McBride thinking like, okay, this was going to be the second passing option, the second option in the passing game. I mean, yeah, I'm all for that, but right now we're stuck without him this week. I don't think that's going to diminish the effectiveness or the offensive efficiency potential that is taking place with the Arizona Cardinals at home against a coming off of a win, but a short week in the Commanders.
Exactly right. The short week is going to be a factor. The Cardinals coming off of a loss is going to be a factor. Them playing at home is going to be a factor too. I think that Kyler is going to try and get that crowd all juiced up, and he's gonna be letting it fly. That's why I love the Kyler and Marv stack for this week. Yeah, it's my favorite stack of the week.
Yeah, we're gonna put that in as soon as we answer. Okay, is T-Law or Fields? Well, T-Law is not okay. Now, Justin Fields, on the other hand, didn't we speak about this, AB? I mean, aren't we like expecting or waiting, anticipating one of those Justin Fields gifts where he's running in an open field through water, splashed because he just rushed for like over 100 yards, and now he's at 2 or 3 total touchdowns. I mean, like we've seen this capability out of this man. It's almost like Arthur is like kind of like suppressing it.
Right. I mean, he's
and cradling his ability, like kind of like putting it in like a cocoon. But like we've seen it with this. We've seen this.
I think it's more Mike Tomlin than it is Arthur Smith.
Do you?
I do, because I feel like the way that Tomlin wants to play ball, he wants to play very conservative. He wants to run the ball. He wants to make the safe reads, make the completions. He doesn't want you, getting reckless or taking off, or because, you take off, somebody strips the ball, then that's a turnover. I think that Mike Tomlin wants to win these like 9-13 games, these 16-10 games, these ugly, like low scoring, let TJ Watt go hunt kind of games. Like, I think that that's what Mike Tomlin wants to do.
It's amazing to me. I mean, like he's the longest tenured head coach, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically like he is Pittsburgh Steelers football,
Yep.
and they are winning. They are 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, to answer this dude, okay, his quarterback question here. Yeah, you can't. I can't trust. I'm not starting no Trevor Lawrence unless this is a super fight. Unless you have to start two quarterbacks, but
Right.
it doesn't seem that way here.
Brees or Kyron is the next
Well,
question.
well, yeah, but I mean, I'm still stuck on Fields,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah,
the T-Line Fields. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Brees all day long. I know
Yeah.
may go Kyron because he's high on Kyron against that defense. I am just all Brees Hall. Call me a homer. Call me like this is going to be the RB1 when it's all said and done. He's so dangerous. He's so damn dangerous. By the way, I want to knock on some wood. I'll use my head. This the game that where he shredded his knee was against the Broncos. That was just in Denver
Mm-hmm.
in 2022. That was against the
Mm-hmm.
Broncos. So maybe this is kind of I don't think this is considered a revenge game. But
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
look, Kyron scored 3 touchdowns last week. He played absolutely like Kyron Williams of 2023. I'm still going to give a slight edge to Brees Hall and his pass catching ability
Mm-hmm.
and how he's utilized in this offense. The offense runs through Brees Hall.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
Yeah, but you can make the same argument for Kyron too. So that's like I don't think this situation. I don't think there's a clear answer. I don't think there's a necessarily like a winner here. I think if you're betting on one of them to reach the end zone, it'll probably be Brees because Kyron did have 3 touchdowns last week. So it's rare for a player to have like multi touchdowns one week and then also get into the end zone the following week. So I think Brees would be the safer play, but Kyron for the same reasons. The Bears, they have a good pass defense, and everything is going to be funneled through Kyron because everyone else is hurt.
All right. So why don't we do this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, if Brees or Kyron, you can't start both.
Right. Yeah. If you could start both, you
How do
should start both.
you actually have both?
Right.
Is this a
Yeah, I was gonna
dynasty?
say, yeah.
Is this a dynasty team? Can I answer him writtenly? Okay. You have both?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Wild. You're a goat. I'm giving him my own message.
Mm-hmm.
My own message. Stop the show. Just for him. All right. Look, we need another running back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We need another wide receiver and the flex, and we're good to submit. We're good to smash this sucker. Do you want to do Kyron here? Do you want to take a look at the other game? I mean, how do you want to play?
Yeah. How much is Kyron? Because we only have 19,000, and to split that between 3 people, that's gonna be.
I just saw it's a 65-33 average. 65. Yeah. Kyron is 8,100. Yeah, look, I mean 81 compared to JT at 82.
Right.
Kyron is his opposing rank is the 23rd.
Right. Okay, so if we do go Kyron, then the other 2 are gonna have to be dart throws because we're not gonna have that much money to work with.
So let's do it.
Let's do it. Why not? Swing for the fences.
We'll get some dart throws.
Yeah.
Look, Juwan Jennings last week.
Yeah.
Couldn't that have been considered a dart throw?
That was a dart throw. That absolutely was a dart throw. Yeah.
Of course. Oh, let's go chasing.
Oh, actually, yeah, we have enough for like 5,700 a piece. That's not bad.
Let's go chasing.
All right.
Jawan Jennings in week 4.
Let's go find him.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Hey, look.
Oh, what about Jacoby Myers? Considering that everybody on the Raiders is not, I mean, Devontae is not playing.
Jacoby Myers and son. We handle all your legal needs. all your personal legal needs. Look at Jawan Jennings.
Jennings,
Jawan Jennings is ahead of
6,800.
Zay Flowers.
That's crazy.
He's ahead of Drake London.
He's not having another 3 touchdown game. That's insane.
He's ahead of DJ Moore.
Oh
That's
my
kind of
God.
ridiculous. Is that kind of ridiculous?
That's insane. No way he's a better value than any of those guys.
Jalen Naylor 63, Keenan Allen 62, Jacoby. Come on, where are you? He's got to be coming up. Here's Brian Thomas 5,800.
Yeah, I knew Brian Thomas would be cheap.
Christian Watson, Cortland Sutton.
There we go.
Here's our dart throw.
Mm-hmm.
He's good for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, right? And
2 touchdowns. Absolutely. From Gardner Minshew, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I'm calling.
It's possible. I can see it. And then flex,
80 yards and 2 touchdowns from Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah.
It's on.
Mm-hmm. Let's see who we can get in our flex.
6,100.
Yep. So go up to the flex option.
Here we go.
But that's just wide. You want to stick with just wide receivers? You don't want to look at possibly if there's a good running back?
No, absolutely. Yeah. Flex. Let's flex.
Yep.
Oh, boom. 61, 6,100. I
don't know who's ringing our doorbell at this time.
We're going to start with Dalton Kincaid at 61. Shaheed, 61. George Pickens, Khalil Shakir, 6,000. Bucky Irving, look, hamstring. When Bucky Irving pops up on the injury report.
I actually am not opposed to taking George Pickens. You know, that's a very like funneled passing attack in Pittsburgh, and I think that our DBs give up a lot of yardage. I think that we buckled down in the red zone, but wide receivers have been getting a ton of yardage against us. So yeah, max us out. It's
in. George Pickens is here. It is. So one final review: Kyler, Cam, Kyron, Mike Evans, Marv, Jacoby Myers, Cole Kmet, George Pickens, and the Houston Texans defense. I love it. Sir. Love it.
Looks great.
You see a smile on my face?
Yeah.
Enter lineup.
That's fantastic.
That's it, man. That's it. AB, we have now just completed our week 4 Friday night DFS lineup. Do you have any final remarks? Anything that you want to say before we take off?
No, not really. It's I know the injuries seem like a lot, but work those waiver wires, people. Work those waiver wires.
I know I'm putting you on the spot again. Maybe for week 5 and on, we'll have a better better intro outro to be prepared for. So
absolutely, yeah.
In any event, guys, look, this is the AB GOAT. I'm JC. This is the Patrick Pucci Fantasy Show Friday Night DFS Show. I want to thank you all for attending, for watching, for viewing. Remember to bet only what you can afford to lose. We will be back. Gamble responsibly. We will be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. for the Fantasy Preview Show. That's it, folks. I want you to have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a great night. Let's do this.